Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, you are most welcome to Tasty City. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make this delicious banana egg roast, so stay tuned and keep watching. When making egg roast, the first step is to boil some eggs. So I'll start by transferring some eggs into a cooking pot. Once that step is completed, I'll go ahead and pour enough water to cover the eggs, then cover and allow to cook on a medium heat for between 10 to 12 minutes thereabouts. Eggs does not take time to cook, so be careful not to overcook the eggs. So after about 12 minutes, the eggs are ready. I'll go ahead now and take them off the heat, and I'll place them in a bowl of ice cold water to stop the cooking process. I'm just going to allow them rest in the water for like 5 minutes before peeling. So these are the list of ingredients we're going to be needing for this recipe, and I'll be leaving their measurement in the description box, so please do well to check it out. So first here I've got my boiled eggs, which I've peeled and also patted dry with some kitchen paper towel. We need some overripe bananas, just like this one here with freckles, to get the most flavor. You also need enough vegetable oil for deep frying. You will need plain or all-purpose flour. I'll be using some unrefined cane sugar, but the white granulated sugar works as well. In here, I've got some nutmeg powder, but the whole nutmeg works perfectly well. For this recipe, I'll be using margarine, but you can also use butter. Okay, so next with me here is some whole milk, which you could also substitute for some evaporated milk. We also need some fresh eggs, some salt to balance the sweetness of the sugar and banana. I'll also be using banana flavor. You can use vanilla extract, but since we are making banana egg roll, I thought it is best to use the banana flavor. And lastly, we need some baking powder. I'll start by sifting 5 cups of all-purpose flour into a bowl. And once the sifting process is done, to that I'll add a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg powder, and 1/2 cup of sugar. Go ahead and mix very well to combine all ingredients. Next, you're going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of butter or margarine, then work it in with your fingertips as shown till a crumble-like texture is achieved. And for egg rolls, you don't need a lot of butter, otherwise the inside will be soaked up with too much oil. So once that is done, I'll move over to blend the bananas, and for 5 cups of all-purpose flour, I'm using 2 medium-sized bananas. So if you're using less flour, be sure to use just 1 medium-sized banana. So once I'm done peeling the bananas, next I'll go ahead and add in my milk, and I'm using just a 1/4 cup of whole milk. Like I said earlier, you can also use evaporated milk. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover this up and blend till smooth. Next, in a bowl, I'll crack in 2 large eggs and I'll give them a good whisk. Once that is done, at this stage, I'll go ahead and pour in the blended bananas and milk. Next, I'll be adding about a tablespoon of the banana flavor and I'll mix well to combine. Once that is done, I'll go ahead and pour the wet mix into the dry ingredients and then mix with an spatula to form a dough. You can also use a wooden spoon. So once a dough is formed just like this, I'm going to go ahead now and transfer this to my clean work surface and knead the dough for just a minute. Please do not over knead the dough, and if at this point your dough is too sticky, you can go ahead and sprinkle just a bit of flour. Mine was just perfect. Once the kneading process is done, next I'll go ahead and cut the dough into 2, then cut each half into 6 pieces. And once that is done, I'm going to set them aside and then cut the second half. Alright, so moving over to the next step, go ahead and flour your palm a bit with some flour to prevent the dough from sticking, and then flatten up the dough on your palms just like this. Or you can place the dough on your work surface and then with the help of a rolling pin, you're going to go ahead and roll out the dough just a bit. Be sure not to over-roll the dough. Now you can choose whichever method works best for you. For me, I prefer to just flatten the dough on my palms. And once that step is completed, you're going to go ahead and pick up one of the boiled egg, then place it right in the middle of the dough and then wrap it around just like this. You're going to go ahead and wrap until the whole egg is completely covered with the dough. Then pinch, twist, and then trim off any excess. Be sure to seal this properly, otherwise it might burst open during the frying process. Once that is done, just sprinkle a bit of flour on the dough just like this and then wrap or roll the dough, whichever one, on your palm, or you can as well roll it on your work surface to form a perfect ball shape. Just like this. So now I'm just going to go ahead now and then repeat the same process with the rest of the egg roll balls. And so here I have the whole eggs completely covered with the dough. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and preheat enough vegetable oil to deep fry the egg roll balls. So once the oil is nice and heated up, I'm going to go ahead and gradually drop the egg roll balls into the hot oil, and I'm going to be frying this on a medium heat, and I'll be frying in 3 batches. So I'm frying 4 at a time, because it is better not to overcrowd your pot, because overcrowding your pot or pan will cause the heat temperature to drop, causing the egg rolls to soak a whole lot of oil, and that is a no-no, and I'm sure you don't want that. It is best to fry the egg rolls on a medium heat, because frying on a high heat will cause them to brown up so fast, leaving the inside uncooked. And also frying on a lower temperature will cause them to soak up a lot of oil. So you just have to control the heat temperature. So be sure to stir the egg rolls from time to time until they are evenly browned over, just like this. Mine took about 10 to 12 minutes thereabout. So at this point, I'm going to take them out from the heat and then place them on a kitchen paper towel to absorb the excess oil. So once I'm done taking out the first batch, I'll add in the second batch and then repeat the process. So here is a closer look of what the first fry or first batch looks like. I'll go ahead now and fry the second and third batch, and once I have everything fried, I'll be back to show you what the final result looks like. I present to you the finished product of our banana egg rolls. These banana egg rolls tasted so delicious, and I really hope you give this recipe a try. So now I'm just going to get a knife and cut one open so we can see what we have in the inside. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button, subscribe and turn on your notification post. That's where you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. And please feel free to share this video with your family and friends. Until I see you next time with something delicious. Bye for now.